This is graphic packaging, y'all. Today is January the 14th. Look at it, and I'm on Pitcher and Frank Street. Look how they got it. Look at graphic packaging. Look at all that pollution. Look at all that that's killing us, y'all. Do y'all see this? This is coming from graphic packaging. It's Saturday, they got it open full throttle. All that is poison, y'all. Y'all see that? All that. Y'all see all that black, made trees? That's all the pollution that they putting up into the air. The spills into the water. I'm on my way home, but I'm gonna keep filming for as long as I can. I'm gonna go down this other street, and we're gonna see if we still can see graphic packaging. It is 9:30 in the morning on Saturday, January 14th. All that pollution, y'all.
But it's my understanding, Brandy or David, whichever one wants to take this, that her 17-year-old daughter died of a severe asthma attack. Her grandkids are all pretty sick. I believe her husband or boyfriend is having issues too.
Yeah, Deanne's daughter died when she was 17. Her son is 30 years old, and he had heart attacks and heart attacks from the asthma attacks, and he's 30 years old and on life support. She has asthma. Her other daughter has asthma. Everybody in the whole entire neighborhood has asthma, COPD, or emphysema, or cancer. And there's this other lady that called me the other day that said she had to quit working because her 2-year-old, 1-year-old, and 9-month-old grandchildren who she's raising has to go to the doctor every single day because of burning eyes and not being able to breathe. And so she has to take them to the doctor. So she had to quit her job, and she was crying about it. And that was the first time I've always meet new people that are going through something. And even though David's he's on the environmental concerns committee, he has headaches when he walks his dog too. Like this is affecting the whole entire city now.
This is graphic packaging. And the smell out here is choking the shit out of me right now. August 5th, this is graphic packaging. This is 1:15 in the morning. Smells like rotten eggs too. Today is Wednesday, August 24th at 3:15 in the morning. This is graphic packaging. It smells like raw eggs, some type of sewage. Look how thick the white smoke is. It's choking me as I try to videotape it. It is September 4th, about 1:40 in the morning. This is graphic packaging. This is how graphic packaging looks. And this is more than moist. See how thick this is? We need y'all to stand up, y'all. This is going into our lungs. The people that live on the north side, we are suffering from this. This is why they offered all them jobs to the people on the north side. So you couldn't sue them for this. This is too thick. And look at it coming this way. Look how it comes this way. Both of them. And I'm on my front porch.
Huh?
And it smells like eggs.
What?
Rotten eggs. Once again, look at this. I'm at home now. Look at this. Full throttle. This is graphic packaging. At 2:50 something in the morning. It's probably 2:57 or 2:58 now. Look at this, y'all. They're killing us.
In the city of Kalamazoo, leaders, especially David Anderson, the mayor, he's told people to keep quiet about this. The reason why I quit the Environmental Concerns Committee is because they sent a cease and desist letter to the data company, Adams Data Solutions, for the American Lung Association, and reporters telling them to be quiet about their air quality. Do not report on their air quality for fear it will ruin their reputation. And David Anderson was the liaison and the ECC when I was there. It's the mayor and his best friend, Bobby Hopewell, who is on the Michigan Economic Development Council. They were pushing for this graphic packaging expansion.
Let me talk about that, and maybe you'll have some thoughts, David. This is in the Live Doc column. Headline, Graphic Packaging Holding to Receive Private Bonds to Finance Expansion Plans. If you could pull that up. So this is from, what year is this? 2021. So not too long ago. Graphic Packaging LLC, a packaging firm based in Atlanta, is expected to receive up to $125 million in private bonds to finance the expansion of its paper mill in Kalamazoo. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation Strategic Fund Board, by the way, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which I've dealt with in my Flint reporting, is a state body. So it kind of sounds like a private entity. It's basically a board with a lot of wealthy donors, i.e. America. So a lot of the donors who buy off the Republicans in Michigan, the Democrats in Michigan, you got real estate developers, foundation people, but it is a state board. They approved a resolution this month that allows this financing move to happen. David, I don't know, am I in the twilight zone? If the Michigan Environmental Department, the Michigan Health Department know about the chronic pollution coming out of this plant, they've had complaints from the residents. I assume Governor Whitmer is either directly or peripherally aware of the issues. Why would they be involved with approving a pretty significant bond deal to expand operations there?
Well, yeah, Brandon, or does you like to say, Jordan? Yes, United Corporations of America. Yeah.
Thank you.
Graphic Packaging is a multi-billion-dollar company. So just what we're talking about here, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, and the excuse. There's always been two excuses as to why the city, the state, the county, nobody can take action against graphic packaging. One has always been that it's the city's wastewater treatment plant because it's next door to graphic packaging facility. Well, the city has spent, tens of millions of dollars in the past just few years to make sure it's not the waste treatment plant. And there are sensors everywhere around the waste treatment plant to make sure it's not. So it's pretty much proven that it's not. The other thing is that the state is requiring that there is unimpeachable data that can prove everything before anything can be done. But there's no collection of that data. We don't have the monitors that can pick up the nitric oxides and other chemicals. Just this, when one of those videos that you showed, the one from, I think it was Saturday, I called the Department of Energy, Great Lakes and Environment, I think is Eagle, called to report the smell that was in my neighborhood. Not nearly as bad. I'm about a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles away from it on the west. And Eagle sends out a person who's doing her job. I'm not going to blame her for it. It's the way that Eagle does it, to do a sniff test. Which not some special meter that sniffs the air. No, she gets out of her car, sniffs around, and is that dangerous? Nope, that's not dangerous. So that's good enough. So they're not collecting data in a scientific manner. And then they say they can't do anything because they don't have the data. So it's circular. There's nothing being done because there's no intention to do anything.
Right. And I mean, obviously there's other entities here, but we also have the fact that Kalamazoo is giving away the store to them. So the city of Kalamazoo has given them what, 21 million in recent years in tax breaks?
There's been at least 3 different rounds of tax breaks from the city and county combined that I'm aware of. The last set of tax breaks, the city did put the brakes on it after giving away about half of what they promised. But, they've still, like you said, they've still given tens of millions of dollars of tax breaks.
Because we all were calling in complaining about health issues. That's the only way they were. Yeah. And we had Dr. White from the White House Environmental Justice Council call in that meeting and say that the city of Kalamazoo is a disgrace to the United States of America for even allowing that was for the benefits agreement. They tried to do this benefits agreement and said they would give us $60,000 only, graphic packaging would, and do a job fair instead of like trying to relocate people, trying to fix their gas leaks. And even though, the wastewater plant has these sensors saying that everything's not as bad over there, I just don't trust any of the sensors. I don't trust the sensors at graphic packaging. They're supposed to be publicized. I don't trust anything that the government does because they've allowed this to happen for so many years. And it seems like health.
Well, the bottom line is, like in East Palestine, like in Flint, you got to trust how you feel. People aren't having their eyes burn for no reason. They're not choking. You don't have high levels of asthma for no reason. And
headaches and stomach aches and everything.
And can I ask you, because I do think, David, this obviously begins as an issue of environmental racism. I don't even like saying environmental racism. I just call it racism. But it's coming to the neighborhood where the whites live. Are people in your community starting to get more upset about this, informed about this? Talk about the reaction there. And could you just tell people around where you live so we know also
I live in one of what they call the core neighborhoods. So it's one of the neighborhoods that essentially shares a border with downtown on the west side of the city. And it's just like every place else in the country and anywhere in the northern hemisphere. If you it's the reason that, we live in a rural area mostly. You always use the example of every barn in North America leans to the east. It's because the prevailing winds blow that direction. So usually living on the west side of town, you're not going to get the pollution from the industrial districts that are all on the east side. So that just tells you how bad it is, that it's going upwind at this point. And people in my neighborhood are shocked because it's never been something that they contend with. And this is one of the problems that happens with racism of any sort. Allowing damages to happen to somebody else is just opening the door for it to happen to yourself. If you're that selfish, if you're not even worried about other people, it's just making it easier for you to be hurt too, instead of having that solidarity. But a couple of my neighbors, one is really concerned because she has to drop her kid off at school. And every time she drops her kid off at school, she has to make a decision if she thinks it's safe for her kid to get out of the car. It's that bad. Another one of my neighbors, his daughter has breathing issues to start with. And, I live in a neighborhood with all old houses, and a lot of them don't have air conditioning, and the smell seeps into his house year round. I have a window unit I cool my house with in the summertime. Am I going to not be able to open my windows this year because the smell is just so bad? And that smell is not just a smell; it's this toxin. I mean, it's terrible.